Eric Peacock here with our nutrition tip of the week, fat loss trip. We're going to talk about metabolic flexibility, being able to burn both carbs and sugar, which most people burn most of the time, and be able to burn fat. Now, a lot of people don't have good metabolic flexibility, and the way to test this out is there's a couple ways you can test this out. Is you can do a keto week. So a ketogenic diet's a really big thing, and low carb can be effective because it forces your body to use fat more readily as a fuel source. Problem is you can't stay there forever. It's not long-term sustainable plan for most people, but what you can do is a week, 5 to 7 days, go low carb, 50 grams or less is what we suggest, and that'll force your body more into a ketogenic state. Low carb forces your body, when there's carbs not available, your body's going to burn more fat. Now, that's one way to add some metabolic flexibility. I would do that maybe 2 to 3 times a year. The other thing is to try just a fasting, and the fasting is like always a good test too. So if you do a 16-hour fast, say you eat dinner at 6 o'clock at night and wait till like 10 o'clock the next day to eat, and you're feeling like you're going to crash and burn, that probably tells you that your body's not doing a very good job to burn fat, because when you're at rest, your body should be using fat as a fuel source. But if you can't do that very effectively, that's why you tend to crash if you don't have those high carb, high sugar meals. So that's one way to test it out. So one way is to increase metabolic flexibility is to bring in a keto week, and then you could bring in some keto days, 2 to 3 low carb days. I'm using keto because it's the buzz term. And the other thing is to bring in some intermittent fasting to kind of force your body to have to go into its fat stores a little bit more. And this is not something you do every day forever, but it's something you can do once in a while. And like I said, when you do the fast, if you feel like you're going to crash and burn, like you're going to die, that tells you that's probably something you need to be, because your body's not doing a good job of flipping from burning carbs to burning fat. So make sure we're developing good metabolic flexibility. It's a way to stay lean and not put the weight back on. A lot of crash diets don't address this. They just have you cut calories, which cuts muscle. When you're doing both of these, you want to make sure that even if you're fasting, that you're eating a good amount of calories in a smaller window, maybe like 8 to 10 hours, and then you're doing the fast, for about 14 to 16 hours. The keto week, if you lower your carbs, one of the big mistakes people make is they cut their protein and fat, keep their protein and fat low. Their calories get too low, which is not good, because you'll start to lose muscle tissue. And if your calories stay too low for a long time, like I've said in other videos, your thyroid's going to slow down, your metabolism is going to slow down. So, make sure that when you're doing this, that you're bringing up those protein and fat calories a little bit to compensate for the lack of carbs.